I just had me a pretty good thought here to explain something. When it comes to Hollywood, okay, Hollywood and entertainment people, and even high profile politicians or like someone like John Gotti before he got caught and went to prison. It was like they had a phenomenon going on. Well, not only did John Gotti, he had the actual police and the FBI for real, and someone called the paparazzi. Now, the paparazzi tactics are identical to gang stalking tactics, man. I don't know why I didn't think of this before. There's a movie called Paparazzi with this dude I think his name's Colin. And it's a straight movie, man. I think it's got, who is it, man? I think it's got Michael Madsen in it, or was that who it was? But it was a straight flick, and it's basically these guys terrorized the dude. They caused him to get in an accident, and then they ran up on him with cameras while he was all effed up, and his wife is all bleeding out of her head. And these dudes orchestrated the accident, then ran up and took a bunch of pictures, boned out, and then plagued the dude every day for a long time and kept hitting him up. And then he kind of threw like this, like that, through planning and cunning, he sets these people up and basically it makes it look like the ringleader flew off the cliff on his motorcycle. Uh, I mean, so listen, that's real stuff. That movie's based on real shit, and I think Mel Gibson's the one who wrote the movie. If I'm not, could be wrong on that. So he would know about these things. Like they set him up. His lady knew he was buzzed up. Anytime anyone's buzzed up, they if they're arguing, they're gonna be like over. They're gonna say way more than they should. And this woman recorded his act, and I mean it's quite embarrassing because it's like, look, that's his private that's his private stuff, and they just aired that shit out there like bam, just put him on blast, and that's because he was going too pro Jesus. I mean, that's the way I see it. Even though he's still a Catholic, he still went too pro Jesus, and they got, look, the Church of Satan members are just mad about that stuff. You know what I'm saying? They hold a grudge about things like that. They don't like it when you you start to wander on the other side of the line, and then they sick the paparazzi on you, who sets up some kind of a street theater event or some kind of bait event, and then once again they get the same kind of training in Scientology, and you can see it in play in this movie called Cults of Abuse, multi-viewed Cults of Abuse, and it's more gang stalker tactics. Now, another way I can explain gang stalker tactics as well would be, you ever seen that show Cheaters, where this is just a few guys, they go and just stake out. Just imagine if some private people just decided to do this stuff because they enjoyed it and they got off on it. Or you could say it's just the government who does it because they enjoy it and they get off on it as well. And then you could even get a mix of private organizations, like people. It's kind of like when someone teaches someone gang stuff. It spreads, the knowledge spreads. You know what I'm saying? And then it grows, and then it metamorphosizes. Then it gets sucked in by the main gang. But the CIA is really one who taught all these people, all these different gangs, and it's really, you're playing right into the Albert Pike WW3. You know what I'm saying? 5-dimensional chessboard. Uh, and you wouldn't even know it. Just like they don't tell you all these secret societies, it's based on, they keep you stupid in the lower levels. Then the next level, they be like, all right, you're one of the insiders now. But really, they still deceive you. Then you get to the next level, same thing. And it goes all the way up to the very top. And even that, it's all deception. It's more like breaking you down and brainwash you into believing it after you've done been through all this repetition of these letdowns at each level. You know what I mean? It keeps you dangling the carrot, as long as they can. They like to dangle that carrot a long time. They love to dangle it right in your face. Uh, it's crazy. Um, yeah, you gotta watch out, man. Don't keep the carrot dangling in your face, because that's part of what the paparazzi does it too. That's like if they went and got a hooker and then sent her to a bar and then coerced her and rehearsed her, be like, go to that guy and get him to go here or whatever. And then let's even go even farther. She's got a wire fucking camera, fucking a little earpiece, and there's a whole team in a dark room, with the Vaseline out on the table, and they're all like coaching them along. It's kind of like, just watch Jason Bourne in the Blackbriar situation where the journalist reporter gets tagged on the database for mentioning the word Blackbriar, and they chase him around, and basically they assassinate him, and he's a journalist. But once again, the gang stalkers, gang stalkers is who killed Princess Diana as well. And I think that movie is kind of trying to spin it that way in a way, but it's deeper than that. It wasn't just paparazzi. That's like James Bond motherfuckers did that shit. You know what I'm saying? That's real. But still, the James Bonds, the CIA, the FBI, COINTELPRO, what is it? Mockingbird. These networks all interconnect, like the Vishka, like two circles in the Vishka Pisces. You know what I'm saying? So the tactics, are all over. Gang wars in prison. That's more kind of like gang stalker tactics. Bullies in high school, like especially when the bullies start to work in a group and they attack like a pack of wolves or a pride of lions. That's when it gets real gang stalkery, because that's the thing. That's what the term gang stalker means. It means a gang of simultaneous stalkers. So one guy could be following you in a car, another guy could be camped out over here, sitting on the bench, and it's the same way they set up stings as well. And they just set things up and coerce things, and then they try to get you. It's kind of like same thing with Wild America, those animal shows where they try to catch the animal in the wild in its natural habitat and doing its natural behavior. But once you're a target, man, it changes your behavior. So therefore, you ruin your chance of ever catching someone in their natural behavior from, like, once they're aware this is how it goes down. But I guess you can be naive to this stuff once, and then once they hit you, it's bad. It's like in here, if you want to see also more evidence of Hollywood definitely knowing about gang stalkers, you look at the Randy Quaid, Keith Ledger was killed video, and they try and listen. Anytime, it's standard operation procedure. The spycologist, the police are trained. Anyone mentions gang stalkers publicly, they get sent to the mental ward. And then if you mention anything like it in the ward knows you're telling the truth. It's kind of like on that movie Count of Monte Cristo, and he gets sent to this tower out in the middle on an island, and he gets there and he goes, "Sir, I'm innocent," and the guy goes, "I know you are innocent. That's why they sent you to me." And I mean, look, them motherfucking spycologists. That's about literally what they really do to you if you are forced to talk to one of them when you're under a gang stalker situation, because it does sound fucking insane. It sounds like, no, that's impossible. No, that don't happen. But look at paparazzi events. They keep it under wraps because the whole entertainment industry is propped up around these mercenary guys who just follow around people of interest. So that's the way you can look at it. It's people of interest. There's been a new shift in the way that things work. So you could get on the radar of people who don't like you, and they can sick these crews, these already pre-made crews. They can invade an area, recruit, pay off, like you get snitches, 1-800 Crime Stoppers. So I mean, basically, people with that type of mercenary, we pay for tips type of mentality. These people can really do some damn damage to someone. And if they can't get you just slipping, they'll manufacture and orchestrate an event to draw you into a situation where they can exploit it. That's the whole thing. It's just like the old, like I said, coerce a woman. This happened to Skimmer on X Files, where they set him up with this chick. She was coerced, and it was meant to get him in line to the cigarette man, basically. Like the cigarette man needed some dirt to dangle in his face. You know what I'm saying? A little dangle that carrot and smack him in the face with a little bit. How you like that? And then after Skimmer broke that kind of then they hit him with the nanobots. Like, look, if you don't do what we say, we're gonna hit the terminate kill switch. You know what I'm saying? And then your bloodstream's gonna uh, over coagulate. But yeah, man, that's real shizzle right there. Once again, the operatives, it's all the same thing. Once you're under surveillance, and like say the police are watching you, like the raid boys, that's gang stalker like activity. It's intelligence gathering. That's what gang stalkers really do. And the cheaters, detectives, and they work for papers and journalists, you know, as freelancers. That's what it's called. See, in that industry is called freelancing, but in military terms it'd be called mercenary work. You know what I'm saying? But it's freelance mercenary work too. It's like you got to go out and acquire the right kind of intel, and you got to know the right people who will pay for it. You know, I mean, look, in an analogy, that's kind of how it works, and it is like that. Because if it's an character assassination mission, literally that is an army of. They're just not trying to hurt your body. They're trying to hurt your reputation, your character, tarnish you, break yourself. Break yourself inward. Situation, and so you can look at it. It's very military. It's militant as well. It can be militant, or it could have like a political. If there's a political motive or agenda behind it, because I mean, you can always think you can go back to the racists and the tactics they use to kick people out of neighborhoods or keep a neighborhood under control or whatnot, maintain power to a local area, and where you got a lot of family members, a lot of a community that's known each other for a long time, that you can keep an inner circle where they can keep the like the KKK used to do it. Listen, no one would know who or why, how, when they got set up, but your town's only got like, let's say 150 people in it, and there's only 50 of them's black, 100 of them's white. You're a black person in that neighborhood, and at that night, 100 people are standing out there in KKK uniforms burning the cross. You can almost be pretty sure the whole community's in on it, and they have done that. So you can't say it can't be done. A gang stalker network can't be made with CIA, nextdoorneighbor.com, and crisis actor websites, shizzle like that. That's how you awesome recruiting platform. You know what I'm saying? You already get them doing lying, false flags. Well, hey, I'll be a gang stalker too. I'll do this one for free. I get a free Obama pin. You know what I'm saying, or whatnot, man. I mean, that's as simple as it is. These brainwashed people sometimes to convenient idiot and a patsy type. You know what I'm saying? Just a follower tag along. They will be exploited and used by the gang stalkers, the paparazzi, corporate espionage, saboteur, spook, shadow government. I mean, all these people have access to this operation of it's intelligence gathering, it's blackmail, it's just a character assassination. These are all revenge, or just cause you can. Or there could also be a scientific behavioral study aspect to it as well.